Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week on YouTube. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and most podcast players. We hope you enjoy the episode. I always get nervous when I say this, but I feel like we've got a lot to talk about today.
We have got a lot. It's one of them car news episode
It's a big,
things.
well, it's a sort of, it's a car-y episode.
Yeah.
Last week we trialed a new format, car park chat.
How did that go?
I really enjoyed it. How did you think it went?
I really enjoyed it as well.
And feedback was actually surprisingly positive. We're always quite nervous when we get Paul involved with anything. So we're like, this might be a disaster. But we had a great time, and it seems like lots of you really enjoyed that slightly more relaxed, off-the-cuff style episode. We didn't necessarily talk about cars all the time. We talked about Tom Cruise for a good chunk of time. So, that will be back. Car Park Chats again, hopefully later this month. As we mentioned, it's hopefully going to be a monthly feature, depending on all of our diaries and schedules. But yeah, this week we are back to just Tony and I, and back to proper
Back to the A-Team.
car chat. Back to the A-Team. Should we work on a new theme tune?
What, at the front?
Yeah,
the
like
front.
Tony and Sam. No, Paul.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, we'll just keep it to what it is. Anyway, so yeah, let's just dive into it, because I say lots of things that I want to get through. I'm going to ask you what you've been up to recently in a second. But firstly, can we just touch on 911 Dakar? Because obviously my video went out on the main channel at the weekend.
Oh, you drove it, yeah.
We did record an episode post me driving it, but we just didn't talk about it. So has your mind about that car changed at all now that you've seen the reviews or heard people talking about driving it?
Not one bit, and I've not even really seen the review. I'm not interested in that.
Really?
Not one iota, mate.
And you know what? I don't blame you. I will come out and say straight away, I mean, it's not a car for you, but also it's such a niche thing. Like of course I loved it. And a lot of people in the comments on the YouTube video were going, oh, it's the perfect car, firstly for the UK with all the potholes, but also for like major cities around the world that have bad road infrastructure. I was banging on about, oh, you want to take this to the desert or to the mountains, or because it is genuinely that capable. Did you know, for example, its breakover angle, as it goes over a crest, is as good as a Cayenne?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a really big bar to set, though. I mean, if you'd have said to me it's as good as a Range Rover, I would have gone, wow.
No, but
A Cayenne's just a car, mate. I mean,
it's not a car. That's an SUV.
It's just a jacked up car. So it's basically a jacked up Audi A6.
Okay, I mean, fine, fair enough. But it is Porsche's SUV. It's Porsche's most theoretically off-road capable, and it's a sports.
Yeah,
it's a sports utility vehicle.
Yeah.
But that's a 911. That's a sports car.
Yeah.
Essentially, it is impressive. It's not just I kind of thought when we saw it in LA together, I was like, it's a bit of a parts bin. It's probably just like, oh yeah, it can go like.
I think I actually said that.
Yeah, a bit of a sandy road. Like,
yeah,
like
a parts bin.
It's but it is, as I say, 10 years of R&D. I didn't realize they actually started the project for the 991 generation. They just couldn't get it approved by the board. Push. So lots and lots of R&D. So far more capable than you would realise. Could go a lot further. But let's face it. Firstly, I'm one of the very few people that would actually take it anywhere. There's like a handful of people that would take a £200,000 sports car into the hardcore off-roading situations.
Yeah.
But also, so on the road, it's a comfier ride. It's definitely not holding you back.
Right.
But the point being, like, why wouldn't you have the better riding 911 on the road?
Has it got air suspension?
It's not got air suspension. It uses the same lift system as the front lift on a 911. They've just put it at the rear as well.
Oh my God, does it really?
Yeah. So
it's like, oh my God, but that's really uncomfortable on the road.
No, it's no.
It's not bouncy?
Not at all. The ride feels nearly identical to a GTS, just with a little bit more play. Like just enough to make it feel bearable. You would be surprised by how good it felt on the road, but
until you get to a corner.
Yeah, no, not a corner. But I'm convinced if you were driving in anger, firstly, you'd feel it. But secondly, if you were surrounded by an actual GTS, or what's a GTS rival, by the way? What's a 911 GTS rival? Hard one, that, isn't it? AMG GT, GTS.
The Vantage, I suppose.
Vantage, yeah. So I think you'd lose them pretty quick. But it's way more capable than you would think, both on road and off road. But unless you are literally rock climbing, sand surfing in 3 foot of snow year round, just get a GTS.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like and I said that in the video, and I will say it again today.
Right.
Like, pointless unless you are using.
So I was
it for
right
its
again.
abilities. I don't think I ever disagreed though.
Stupid car.
Not stupid car. Aren't you happy they've at least? I'm glad they've made it because they've got proper 911 Rally Heritage Porsche.
Yeah, good.
So like, celebrate it, make it.
Yeah. I don't buy Porsches for their rally heritage. I buy them for their racing heritage, the Le Mans.
But I think the Rally
the GT3.
For me, I love the Rally Heritage. The 959 Dakar, that was a cool car.
Not interested. Never really, ever really been interested in Porsches because I know they do it, but I don't think it's what they stand for. I think Porsche Motorsport to me is Le Mans and
even the road rally stuff,
GT.
Rally Monte Carlo or the Targa Florio, all that kind of stuff.
I always associate that stuff with Subarus and Mitsubishis.
Oh no, you're talking about proper off-road, like. So I mean, like Mille Miglia.
No, I don't really associate.
Don't associate.
No,
fair
not
enough.
at all.
Well, anyway, it was a super cool experience. Car that I loved. Would I have one if I was a big collector? 1,000,000%. Would I replace the GT341? Definitely not. Would I have one over a Turbo S? No. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have one if I had loads of money, but it's so niche that I don't have enough money to have a car that niche.
Fair.
Speaking of niche, I'm not going to say too much because I got a video coming out on Sunday.
Oh.
I never like to ruin my Sunday videos.
Oh, you're going to tease the audience.
Yeah. I did drive the INEOS Grenadier this week. And all the reviews just went out today. So if you're watching live over on Recast, I haven't broken the embargo because luckily we're recording this on the day that the embargo is lifted. So lots of INEOS Grenadier reviews are out. I spent a whole day and a ton of miles behind the wheel. I did 250 miles behind the wheel of that
Did
car.
you?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Everywhere. I was determined to do a lot of miles in it.
What, Calais?
Yeah. Not Calais. Just all over. I went across the country, basically. Tell me what you think about that vehicle, because we've spoken it quite a bit.
Oh, you sure you want me to say?
Yeah. We've spoken about it quite a bit on this podcast, but go on. What do you think? Because
I think it's a piece of shit.
Oh. You're strong.
You want to edit that out?
Maybe. Tell me why.
Well, I first of all, can we talk about price?
I think it's important that we do.
Right. Is it not 70 grandish?
The top spec version is 69 grand plus options.
Yeah. Oh my God. So
you're not gonna want to add. Oh, actually, that's a lie. You are gonna want to add stuff. So it's 69 for pretty well equipped. But if you want the really fancy stuff like big winches but you're going to be a bit over that. You're going to be 75. But the non-really special spec, which is the one you want, is 58 plus lots of options.
The problem with that car is, you know what I'm going to say because I spoke to you about it before, is the Defender. I mean, it just will be a better car, the Defender, 100%.
So, as I said, without revealing too much of what I said in the video, because I want you all to go and watch it, I would agree with your proclamation, but I would say that the Grenadier is actually positioned way more differently. It's like comparing, similarly priced, an Alpine A110 with a Supra or something a bit more practical.
So it's niche.
It's super niche.
Right, so they're not going to sell a lot of them then.
Hence the segue. I can't believe they will, but how many old Defenders do you still see on the road?
Well, and actually, I didn't show this screenshot last week, but I was offered 2 Defenders.
Old shape or new shape?
I was offered 2. Let me finish.
Oh, sorry. I got excited.
I was offered 2 Defenders last week.
Okay.
One 2015 XS old shape.
Yeah.
110.
Okay.
And a new shape 110 as well. Both around 20,000 miles ish.
Okay.
The old shape was more than the new shape car.
Yeah.
The new shape car had steely wheels. And
Sure.
It wasn't a high spec car, but it wasn't like it was a HSE or it was an S. But if you look at the old Defender, an XS is basically an S of the new car. I mean, it's got nothing in it. It's just a disaster manual gearbox. It's just terrible. It was more money than the new car.
This is the crazy thing.
Stupid. I mean,
Go on.
The old Defender is literally one of the worst driving cars ever.
If today you wanted a vehicle that could do what a old Defender did, as in be fairly niche for going around farms and around the estate and living that country life, your only option in terms of new is Grenadier, because everything else has moved forward.
Or Defender or Discovery.
No, because that's what I mean. Defender is now a whole different thing. It's a road car. It's a plush, lovely, tech-filled, supermarket and school-run savvy SUV
And
that happens to be very capable off-road.
Well, it does everything the old car did off-road. Yes.
Yes.
It absolutely does, because I've seen the two comparison videos.
For sure, but it is also still, what's it called? It's still held back. Like, it's not a pure off-roading machine.
You mean because it hasn't got a lever where it goes clonk when you engage the rear diffs?
Not necessarily
It's got a nice button.
but because of a number of different things that... Anyway, let's not get into it.
Well, because I'm going to win this argument.
No. Just bear with me, because just listen to the argument I'm trying to make. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with you, but yeah, Grenadier is the RS product. It is the focused on one specific thing.
Right.
So therefore, it's going to market itself to customers who only want it for that. Because if you are a farmer or a estate, or people who've owned old Defender, new Defender is, as I say, too plush, too tech-filled, too many things that can go wrong with it, screens and all those bits and bobs we know, too flawed in terms of load space, that rear load space, climbing in and out of the back. Lots of the functionality of new Defender is not as good as old Defender.
Fair. The problem is, mate, and I take on board what you're saying, the world has moved on, and the world likes one thing to do everything. And that's exactly what the new Defender does, and the old Defender didn't. So it was opened up to a completely new market, and that's the problem the Grenadier is going to have. It's a new car that was made for 10 years ago. 20 years ago, sorry.
A very interesting statement.
The right statement as well.
I think the only thing which I would love to understand from INEOS is who or what is their target market and what are their goals. Because if they're saying we are going to sell 100,000 cars a year or whatever, but if they are, their whole ethos, their whole spiel that they give is that this was a car or vehicle with a sole focus.
Fair.
It had to hit 3 criteria: be durable, look good, that's always debatable with any car, and be the ultimate off-roader.
Fair.
And based on other people's reviews that have gone live today, they have hit that out of the park.
Brilliant.
But of course, that means that they open themselves up to criticism in other areas. If you're going to literally just focus on that one area, and as you say, it's going to make the product niche. So yeah, my video goes live on Sunday. Really enjoyed making it. I had a really good time, and that shares a few more of my thoughts. Be great to know if any of you've got Grenadiers coming, what your thoughts are now that the reviews are out. One other thing I wanted to mention before we get into our cars that we're looking forward to this year, X5 and X6 facelifts just got unveiled.
Oh, again.
Yeah, LCI. What do they call it? Like life cycle investment or...
Investment?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What is it? Live?
Yeah.
Live,
It's a
light
facelift, basically.
Yeah, light facelift. New headlights and stuff.
Yeah. Literally.
But, X5's very popular for the middle class family, right? That's a good go. I mean, I see them everywhere.
Yeah. Well, depending on where you live, but yeah.
I live in central London, too.
Well, you'll see Range Rovers then. But depending on where you live in the country, certain areas of the country buy different cars. So sometimes you'll see a glut of X5s and Q7s. Sometimes you see a glut of KNs. Mostly, most affluent middle class areas, you'll see a glut of Range Rovers, which is normally what happens. The thing is, what happened with I can speak from experience here as well. What happened with the current X5 and the current Range Rover Sport, because the Range Rover product breaks a lot and has reliability issues. In general, the X5 is really pretty good and actually drives down the road, or did drive down the road, easily as nice as a Range Rover Sport, essentially. And the mums of Chelsea and all these affluent areas, they're never going to go off-road, so they don't need an off-road car. So the X5 was actually a really, really good, reliable alternative. So there was lots of customers that come out of Range Rovers and did go into X5s because it was a really, really, really lovely car to drive down the road.
Nice and solid. And
just a really beautiful car, mate. Yeah.
Like my X3.
Yeah.
They just do the job.
Just do the job, yeah.
I have to say that I've never found the X5 that good looking or that attractive. It's always felt a bit boring to me. Is it embarrassing?
It's just a bigger car than what you own, mate. I mean, it's literally the same, but just bigger.
It's just uglier. But is it bad to admit that I quite like the new X7? It's not. It's a brutish looking car.
Yeah, I mean that's a proper Range Rover rival in terms of.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, in terms of space.
I do like the way it looks. I also am coming around to that XM thing.
Oh no!
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to me.
What? I knew something like this was going to come at some point because you're itching. He's itching, ladies and gentlemen, to go and spend some more money and buy a new car. He cannot. Wait.
It's an addiction.
He's already spent hundreds of thousands of quid on a GT3, and now because he's got that bug, because actually that's one of the first new cars you've ever bought, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a bug. I mean, it's a problem for you now. Now you're looking for the next fix, and how can I swap my garage, and how can I do this? And the latest thing, is which you just told me, is an X7. I mean, go and do it, because you'll never buy a new car again if you go and do that.
No, I wouldn't buy a new. I wouldn't.
Because you'd have to live in it, because that's how much money you'd lose.
Yeah, no. I'm definitely, my garage is staying put for at least 12 months, or at least that's what my wife tells me. Anyway, let's move on to the main topic of today, which may lead into some spin-off topics, I suppose. But we're going to use an article over on TopGear, topgear.com, which was Top Gear's top 23 cars of 2023, done by Ollie Q.
While we're on the subject of Top Gear, actually, we never actually mentioned this, but Freddie Flintoff had an accident, right?
Is he all right?
Well, we don't know. I mean, I hope he's all right, but we haven't. He had he was hospitalised, and they froze filming. So, but no one, I don't think, unless it's come out.
Freddie Flintoff. Top Gear is suspended after Freddie Flintoff's horror crash.
Yeah, he had a crash.
Has anyone heard how Freddie Flintoff is doing? I hope Freddie's okay.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
You're right, actually. Paddy McGuinness gives health update on Top Gear co-star Freddie Flintoff. More below. Here we go. Here's an article. Let's have a quick look. Paddy McGuinness has shared an update. Freddie was injured in an incident at the Top Gear track. That's the BBC spokesperson.
Don't really say a lot.
He's okay. I'm not too sure what happened, but he's lucky to be alive. It was a pretty nasty crash. It is shocking. We are all shocked, but just hope he's going to be okay. Now Flintoff's co-presenter Paddy has spoken about the accident. He's had so many well wishes and positivity for the big lad the last few days. Freddie is loved and will be up and at 'em before you know it. The three of us are back this Sunday with new Top Gear. Oh yeah, there's like no update.
Yeah, weird. Anyway.
Super weird.
Yeah.
But hopefully he is all right. Have you been watching a lot of the most recent?
No, not really.
I've lost track a little bit as well.
Yeah. Not really. Don't really watch a lot of TV, you know.
I don't watch a lot of TV either. Just don't have time with kids.
And I think that's the problem with TV in general, not just Top Gear. I think obviously because of digital platforms now,
streaming.
It is almost like Top Gear in 9 months behind.
Watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to use this article to chat about at least what the cars that they're most hyped or excited about. I say this could spin off into some other things as well. They've actually put a number one, the 911 Dakar, which, fair play. It's a car.
Yeah.
It is a,
Car for 2 people.
There we go. Number 2, weirdly, is the Lamborghini Huracan Sterato.
That is worse, mate.
I genuinely think that's worse. And I think Lamborghini know it and don't care.
Of course they don't. They don't care about anything.
No, the Sterato is they've literally stuck some fog lights onto a Huracan and said it's an off-roader.
But I would say that is way cooler than the Porsche.
I know you've said that for a while, but I disagree. I think that's way stupider. I think that's the stupidest thing to ever exist.
But because it's so stupid, it's almost cool because it's
a
little
bit.
Because
you can't go anywhere in it. You can't actually.
You can drive down the road in it, mate.
No, but the Dakar you could take to a really cool location and be like, wow, that's cool. There's a 911 there. That's pretty impressive. That Sterato, literally, you'd get stuck going up the gravel driveway to Salon Privé.
But isn't that Lamborghini, mate? I mean, you can vouch for this on this STO thing. They make a track-going race car for the road that's got no boot space, and you can't take it on any track because it's too loud.
Yeah, awful road car, awful track car.
Yeah, literally. But it's cool because it's
brilliant.
It's brilliant for that reason. You actually said that, by the way.
I did. No. Fair enough. I just the Sterato. I'm like, whoa. I mean, I want to drive it. I've asked them to borrow one. So
have you really?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. But it's not coming through for a while.
No,
but,
you keep slagging it off.
Yeah. I want to take it to Morocco somewhere and just get stuck in a dune. And actually, on the subject of Lamborghini, there's a lot going on with Lambo at the minute. Firstly, I'm actually borrowing a Lambo next week. We'll stay tuned on that.
Hold on.
Well, because obviously we spoke about it with Paul. Replacement Aventador coming at some point. People are saying literally days away.
Yeah.
But then they released these stupid bloody
what is all that about?
V12. What even are they? I need to Google it because I sort of didn't really think we were going to be talking about it. But
Paul posted one of them, and actually one of them looked really good.
Final V12 Lamborghinis.
Handful of them.
The Invincible and the Authentica.
Yeah, so
are the last V12 cars produced equipped with a 6.5 litre engine.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess they look cool.
Yeah, I think they look really good.
So the thing which is annoying, the piece that I'm doing next week is with the Aventador Ultimae, and that was going to be my whole sending off.
The last.
Yeah, one of the great engines and the Lamborghini.
Remember that? While we're on Top Gear subject, this is going to segue beautifully.
Oh, well done, mate.
So while we're on the top, do you remember that the Pagani thing they always kept doing with the final. There you go.
This
same
is the
thing.
last one.
The last Lambo.
So these two, based on the Aventador, the Invincible and the Authentica, translated into the Invincible and Authentic, could have guessed that actually, will be limited to just one example each, providing a special send-off. They look like a sort of Cyan, Reventon, Veneno, something. I mean, Paul will be all over these.
What, is only going to make 2 cars?
2 cars, mate. 2 cars.
Oh, you know what that is? That is literally, they've got 2
special
Aventador chassis and engines left, and they think, what are we going to do with these? Oh no, let's make 2 cars.
Yeah, I thought they had 2 customers who called them up and said, we just love that V12.
Yeah.
So I got Aventador Ultimae next week, which I think, I've always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with Aventador. And whilst I was in Perth last year visiting the Lee collection, I actually drove an Aventador Mura edition, unmolested Gen 1 Aventador, and I was like,
crap.
No, I was like, you know what? There's something kind of great about this. I was like, there's something kind of like, this is poster car of our generation. It's a beast of a car. Yes, it's poo, but it's great that it is poo. And Aventador Ultimae is supposedly the send-off to that car. So I wanted to just, give it one last chance, one last hurrah, and say goodbye to a car that I think when we are 80, we will look back with rose-tinted glasses at the Aventador.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay, so coming down Top Gear's list. Now, look, they've listed the Range Rover Sports SV. So I was actually at a Range Rover event yesterday. They were unveiling a new... So SV's changing a little bit, I think, within Range Rover or JLR. This was a special limited edition Range Rover they launched yesterday called the Lansdowne Edition.
Right.
All tied into the Mayfair dealership, the Stratstone Mayfair dealership.
Okay.
So 16 cars, 250,000 £1,000.
Oh no.
And it's essentially super luxury bespoke car. You know, bespoke paint, bespoke options, top finest qualities, top stitching, unique tech elements. Like, you know, like the best. Like,
And they're only making 16.
16, all pre-sold.
Yeah, because they only find 16 people.
Well, I'm sure, but it's a new avenue for SV. This super bespoke luxury avenue, which I'm all here for. So they're suggesting TopGear that for the new Range Rover Sport SV, not SVR, it's going to actually not have the big shouty V8. It's going to have the twin turbo 4.4 litre V8, the BMW shared one, basically.
Well, yeah, because even the SVR won't be shouty, won't be like the old cars. It's an M5 engine,
Yeah,
which is really quiet.
Really quiet, but it'll be a different vibe and a different identity of that car, but
be really fast.
Really fast.
Yeah.
And I think quite something because I love that new Range Rover Sport when I drove it.
Yeah.
The hybrid one was amazing. I've started to see them more on the road. Have you seen a few drifting around?
Yeah, I have
I
actually.
think it looks good actually. When I see them
I
coming,
like the big one, mate. I
like the big one.
There's quite a lot of big ones around where I live, and they are lovely on the road.
A lot of money though. Do you think?
Are they?
Are they not?
I mean, they're nearly 100 grand.
Fair. Yeah, because
for a sport.
For a sport, yeah. There's probably only 20 or 30 grand difference between them now on the used market.
If you buy them list, there ain't that much difference between them list.
Really?
Not list, no.
Oh, get the big one then, right?
Yes.
But with the big one's going to lose a ton of money though, no? Or they both are, do you think?
What, are you joking?
I'm asking a
it's nearly
question,
100
Tony.
grand. Of course it'll lose money.
But what? Okay, so basically, I'm
Bonkers
asking
money.
you, if I go and buy a big Range Rover for 135 grand tomorrow, it's still going to lose a ton of cash,
Of
right?
course, look at the old ones.
Yeah.
Might not today, because they're still catching up. But in a couple of years, when everyone's got one, and this is what happens with Land Rovers, just look at previous models, mate. They always do it.
Are they more reliable?
But I
We
mean,
don't know. Have you heard stories?
No. They break.
They're still, but the new ones still break.
Yeah, electrical problems. Yeah.
Oh god. Well, yeah, Range Rover Sport SV or SVR, whatever. I'm definitely excited about. I think that would be super, super cool. A very desirable product. So yeah, well done, TopGear. Good shout.
I'd have one as a car to run around in, one of them though.
An SV Sport.
No. They're just a diesel one. 350 HSE diesel, perfect, good enough for me. Be 85, 90 grand. Probably be about 90 grand, I think. Black pack, that's perfect.
Yeah, to be fair, I see what you're saying. For me, the you could have the 440 hybrid, not the 510. So the baby hybrid, I think absolutely
Perfect.
winning. Like that is a sweet car.
Yeah.
Super comfortable. And yeah, if you're saving 30 or 40 grand over a big range, it makes sense. But you're right, that big Range Rover. I just still don't quite love those rear tail lights. I don't know why. It just hits me a bit weird. Next up, Alpine A110R. So I'm hearing good and bad things about this little thing. It's supposed to be the sort of track-focused, I guess, variant of the A110. I'm not sure if it's the lightest ever. Oh, no, here it is. It has lost 34 kilos, so it is light. And gained downforce. So it's the GT3 RS of the A110.
But
It's the variant. I'm not saying it's a GT3 RS rival.
I'd say that's more GT4.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a rival. I'm just saying it's the same ideology.
Yeah.
So it's the track focused, add aero, strip a bit away.
Yeah, I'd say the normal one would be an S, or not a GT, it would be an S, and I would say that would be the GT4 version.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, well, yeah, it's that ideology. But I just struggle to get excited about Alpine A110. I did love it when I first drove it, but I've really just weirdly gone off it.
Yeah. Same as what you'll say about the Emira in a couple of years' time. Same
Lies.
Oh, this is a good car. This will be a very good car, this one.
Next up on the list is the new Mercedes C63.
Yeah, that'll be a great car, that will.
Well, obviously, we spoke about it before. At all the launch events, the initial first drives last year, all the journalists and some social media people quite rude about it.
Well, because of the noise.
Not just because of the noise. Heavy. They also said it's very heavy on its toes.
So's the new M3.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So's
an RS4.
The engine is uncharacterful, lacking character. There we go.
Yeah.
So it has moved away from previous AMG identity. So quiet, uncharacterful, unengaging engine in a heavy car.
Yeah.
You're excited about it, and you did the same thing with the M3. Oh, it'll be brilliant, really brilliant. But initial reactions and impressions are that maybe it's not.
Well, hold on a minute. I said the M3 would be brilliant, and it is brilliant. It's just a bit heavy.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant. And the problem is people are still harping about the V8. Well, actually, I've got one of them filtered V8 cars in at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a C63S in stock at the moment. So one of the filter cars, a 69 plate car. Coupe. Yeah. It's quiet, mate.
Very quiet.
They're a very blunt instrument, and they're not a driver's car. They're not like an M car. They're very blunt anyway. They're not a proper driver's car. They're just a bit of a, turn the traction control off. They're a bit of a hoon. They're a bit of a laugh. They've become a little bit more focused than the previous old 6.1 or 6.2 engine, whatever it was. But this is basically the 992 of Mercedes. What they've done is they've built a perfect car. I haven't driven it yet, but I bet when I drive that car, that will be perfect for everyone. That will fit everyone, because that's exactly what BMW have done with the M3.
Yeah.
And that's the rival.
I'm definitely not disagreeing with you. And I think, look, the world has moved on. The times of big hunking great V8s, it's never going to be.
No.
I would disagree or fight you slightly on terms of it's not just the sound. An engine can be characterful in the way that it delivers power, in the driving characteristics. It doesn't just have to be noise, because no new car sounds really that good apart from my GT3, which we've discussed as a bit synthetic internally. But anyway.
You actually stand outside, you can't hear it.
Yeah, literally. It's louder than you think outside, but it's not as loud as previous generations. Yeah. But inside it sounds great, which is all that matters.
Yeah.
So this, I don't know, I'm not that excited by this C63. I was by the previous generation, but maybe because I'm just not, the Mercs that excite me at the moment, weirdly, are the electric stuff and the super high-end luxury bits. The AMG stuff I've just moved away from slightly, because I feel like AMG are having a bit of not an identity crisis at all, but an identity shift, as they've changed from the big, Larry, shouty V8 into this new era. And even with the GT Black series, it's just a bit of a transition in terms of their identity.
Yeah, they're going to get a new customer. They'll have a new customer.
I just can't decide how I therefore feel about them.
I think they'll sell a bucket load of them cars.
How much are they going to be, though? Doesn't really matter. Same price as an M3.
Yeah. Be 90 grand, won't they?
Yeah. By the way, did you see all the sort of slightly mixed reactions for the M3 Touring? There's a lot of chat about it on Twitter.
I think I remember saying this, that it's a little bit overhyped, that car. And I think actually it's just an M3 of a boot.
You are really digging your own ego today, aren't you?
That's what I said. I said it. If you go, Ben, try and find it. I'd said it about 6 months ago.
Time they've said, I think you'll find.
I say a lot of things and they actually do come true.
You're enjoying yourself today,
aren't you? I'm fully enjoying myself today.
That was it. I for sure, M3 Touring, a lot of hype, all hype, and then it seemed to fall a bit flat when it actually did eventually turn up. It's like people wanted it forever. The car that BMW will never make, and then it turned up and people were like, oh yeah, there it is.
And I think we actually said it on the live event at my work when I said actually people get really excited about it, and it won't,
And then and you're so right, because the reaction basically was it's just an M3 with a boot.
Yeah.
Well done, Tony. It's next on the list, actually. Number 6.
Skip past it.
TopGear have included the M3 Touring. I do think it's a very good-looking vehicle.
Yeah, of course.
Now, this is interesting. So, number 7 are the Hyundai Ioniq 5N.
Oh.
So, the Ioniq 5, obviously super popular. We have spoken about it a little bit before. It's the big, boxy-looking
Got one in stock. The normal.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Always bigger than I think.
Really big.
Looks great until you see it and you go, oh, that's huge.
You know what it reminds me of as a car? I know it's completely off topic. It reminds me of a Skoda Superb.
Oh, yeah.
They're just a big estate car, but when you get in them, they're massive. Really
It's famously got one of the biggest boots ever.
It's just got loads of room
Loads of room.
Yeah.
Did they do a VRS Superb? I feel like they didn't.
I can't remember.
Octavia, they did the VR.
Yeah, I don't think they did. Loads of taxi drivers had them and stuff. But we had a run where we sold loads of them, estate ones, and they were so good.
Yeah.
Huge in the back.
Yeah. If you Google cars with biggest boots, Superb is always at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Legends.
Yeah. And that's what this car reminds me of from a hatchback point of view.
Yes, fine. But I think when you see photos of it, you go, oh, that's a really cool looking thing. And then you see it in the flesh, you're like, oh, It's not a
big,
hatchback.
yeah.
It's like an SUV. It's massive.
It is really big. Yeah, it's not like full focus size. I mean, it's
Ginormous.
nearly Q3 size.
Yeah, literally. Weirdly, did you see the Hyundai Ioniq 6, the sort of slopey one, the kind of saloony one?
We saw that at the LA Motor Show. I mean, I did. Yeah, you walked past it.
Really?
It was there. Yeah.
It's a good looking car, that one. I like that.
Yeah.
People are a bit weird about it. It was very sort of.
It's very
sloopy.
sleek.
Yeah, sleek and sloopy. But
a little bit like a Passat CC. Nice and slow.
Google that. Passat
or the Arteon. The
Arteon, yeah.
It's a little bit like that.
Oh yeah, Passat CC. You're not wrong, Tony. What a blast from the past.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got distracted. Ioniq 5, it's proved to be hugely popular and actually one of the best EVs on the market. People who get them absolutely adore them.
Yeah.
Supposedly this is going to get the N treatment. So the hardcore sort of fruity treatment from Hyundai, which will be fascinating, will be super interesting. I've only, I drove the AMG EQS. Taycan we know is obviously sort of from standard quite sporty. So it'll be cool to see what Hyundai might do to Ioniq 5 to give it that kind of N vibe.
Yeah.
To theoretically make it a bit more attractive to us sporty people. For me, I just wouldn't have it because it's too big. That's my whole thing again. I would have the Ioniq 6.
Fair.
Because I just prefer the size and the looks. Ioniq 5 is just a bit too...
It's bigger than the Ioniq 5, the Ioniq 6.
No, not dimensionally, it's not.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks bigger.
Watch the Johnny Smith video, the Late Break Show. It literally puts them side by side. It's much smaller.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It looks bigger. It's probably because it's slopey and low.
Yeah, but the roof line's lower, everything.
Yeah, I know the roof line is lower. Yeah. But it looks longer because it's probably...
I think the wheelbase is identical.
Right.
I think the wheelbase is identical. It's a
Oh,
bit...
wow.
Yeah. Really, really, really interesting. Number 8, all the Le Mans cars. That's on TopGear's list. It just says all the Le Mans cars. And then they're not wrong because this year... And actually, let's just talk about this for 2 seconds. It feels like all the manufacturers are coming back to...
Fuel.
Combustion engine racing. So I posted this on Instagram the other day. At Le Mans, or in World Endurance Championship, list is there. BMW, Porsche, Cadillac, Lamborghini, Peugeot, Ferrari, Toyota, etc.
They all left 3 years ago.
In Formula One, Ford, Honda are still on the list for 2026. Ferraris, we know. Audi coming in.
Porsche.
No, Porsche.
No, it's not happening now.
It seems like they bailed, yeah.
Right.
Because Red Bull went with Ford instead.
Right.
So it's very interesting.
Porsche.
Sorry?
They'll buy a team Porsche in F1.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they wanted to do. And Red Bull probably said, we want to keep the control. I wonder if they'll go and buy AlphaTauri. Potentially. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yes. In an era when we're all being told EV's the future, manufacturers are going, you know
No,
what?
we didn't say that.
No, when we're being told.
Oh, we're being told.
Yeah. When we're being told EV's the future. Manufacturers are saying, actually, the R&D we want to do, or the motorsport that we think is most relevant to future road cars, is actually WEC and F1. And that's what they've all said. Ford, Toyota, BMW, Cadillac, all of these teams have said, we're going into this racing series because we think it will help us develop future road cars.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, why do these big manufacturers spend so much money in motorsport? Of course, it's marketing. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday. But also, genuinely, at this level, R&D does trickle down
absolutely
into road cars.
Yeah.
Just development of carbon fibre, let alone the engines. And as we know from 2026, with sustainable fuels and low capacity hybrid engines in Formula One, WC doing a similar thing. This is what they were saying, actually, this is what we want to be developing.
Well, all the cars that we all like, all the supercars and sports cars that we all like, all come from motorsports, mate.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, the Black Series has got F1 stuff. The Pista,
Alfa Romeo GTA,
the GT2 RS, the
Lamborghini
Lamborghini
Alfa Romeo
STR.
Giulia GTA.
Not interested. I heard you. I just kept talking.
I know.
Because it's not a supercar, it's a stupid car. That's why you like it. But yeah, all the current supercars, the big Larry supercars that we all like and love, has all come from motorsport. Yeah. Every single one of them.
100%. They take learnings from the motorsport teams. So I think it's fascinating. I think it's super exciting for us, and I think it makes sense. And, sustainable fuel is something that we are very passionate about here on this podcast, that we're going to be doing a lot more around this year and looking at, but also the development of, really clever hybrid engines to make enthusiast cars clean or green and viable for a future where we're all trying to reduce our global emissions. So I can't wait to see Le Mans this year. I haven't been excited about Le Mans probably for about 20 years, but I'm genuinely I'm going to tune in if I'm not there, and I just cannot wait.
Can you imagine driving one? I mean, driving one of them
Le Mans cars.
Insane. Oh, mate.
Insane. I don't think I would be able, I would be able to slowly. You know what I mean? I'm not going to jump in that. Slicks and wings, that is all the
yeah, it's not too dissimilar to an F1 car, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's big crap.
It's bonkers.
Number 9 on the list, BMW M2, which you've got coming.
Yeah.
Archie was getting all cocky yesterday, saying he's got the first one in the UK coming.
Well, he might well have.
Try and beat him.
I mean,
try and get yours sooner.
Also, Archie's known to tell lies.
We love you, Archie. M2 coming. That, of course, we're all very excited by the M2, I think, just to see what that's going to be about. Now, number 10 on the list.
Please.
Lotus Emira 4-cylinder, the sort of the AMG engine.
Oh, that's the one to buy.
Now, I went to collect the INEOS Grenadier from Millbrook, the proving ground, the testing facility that many manufacturers use to test new cars.
Yeah.
I saw this.
Brilliant.
Because I saw an Emira lapping around. I was like, why would there be an Emira out here? And I went, maybe it's the AMG one. And it cruised past and it did that
that pop.
So I'm hoping this is coming, because I kind of thought it all gone a bit quiet. With the delays that Emira had at the end of last year, and the fact that V6s are slowly just trickling out, there's just been a lack of chat around the 4-cylinder. But we've long said that this could be the one with the auto box and the 4-cylinder. That could be a real charmer.
And cheaper.
Yeah, that could be a real.
I think that'll be
car.
the car. I mean, I won't rush out and buy an Emira anytime soon, because
But it's like a mid-engine A45.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
In a pretty body.
Yeah.
What a car.
Is it A45 or A35? What power is it?
It's A45. It's like the full whack. The
420 horsepower.
Yeah, 416 horsepower.
I mean, that will be genuinely faster than the V6. That car
with the proper gearbox. You're probably right.
Yeah, it'd be faster.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing
and cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Well, we hope. I wouldn't get too carried away about the cheaper thing.
Really?
Yeah. According to who?
Well, according to everyone, it's going to be the cheaper. I mean, why would they make it more expensive? Oh, please, mate. Don't blow my bubble.
Well,
burst my bubble.
The world has changed, obviously, since then.
Oh, no, it's going to be more. It can't be 100 grand. I mean, that is a proper pile of poo if that's 100 grand, that car.
No, it's not going to be 100 grand. But here we
go.
The other
one's
the 4-cylinder will be from 72.
It's more. Oh, no. They've got it right. I thought it was going to be the cheaper one.
That was last year's pricing.
Oh, no. It's going to be 80 odd grand, that car.
Well, yeah, so the V6 this was last year. This is an article from last year. The 4-cylinder, 72 grand, and the V6 was 76 grand. The thing is, I think where they were arguing is the output, the power output. I think maybe they haven't agreed on the final output. I think Merc maybe don't want them to have the full 420 horsepower.
Well, as well, I think Lotus probably don't want them to have the full 420, because it would definitely be faster than the V6
so let's
one.
See, Emira,
because it's a
MG
Toyota
power
Canvy engine or whatever they call it. That V6 Toyota engine,
mid-engine Emira. Okay, here we go. So they're saying 400 horsepower here, I think. Hold on.
Yeah. What's the V6 for? What?
Oh no. So the original press release said 360 for the AMG engine,
right?
And then obviously 400 for the V6.
Right. Okay. Yes, it can't be 400.
No, because
but it'll still be just as fast, because it won't be as lazy, that engine, and it'll have a double clutch.
So then here's another article saying that it's going to be 60 grand for the AMG. Lotus, can you get in touch? And I'm going to maybe I'll just text. Let's see. I'll text them now.
I was always under the impression that car was going to be loads more affordable than the V6. That's what I thought. And actually, I think your man from Lotus actually told me that when he was spouting about it. I'm almost sure he said that.
What's Official latest pricing for AMG Amira. Let's see if
Oh,
they get
please.
back to us. Okay, moving on. Number 11, Alfa Romeo 8C supercar, 6C supercar. Now, I know something about this.
What is that?
Top Gear is saying that they've heard rumours that Alfa Romeo is going to do its own version of the MC20.
Right.
So they're going to get hold of the MC20 and redo it, and it's going to be an Alfa supercar. It's something a bit more special than that. It's a sort of a heritage car. So like
Heritage to what?
Alfa Romeo's heritage, you poo.
Right.
One of the greatest heritages in the world.
Like the GTA heritage. Or
No,
that.
you know Alfa's heritage back in like the 50s, like some of the greatest.
It's historic. Who cares? Let's talk about it now. Why?
Get out, mate. Get out.
How are they buy?
Have you ever heard of a Tipo 33?
No, not interested. Does it work?
Anyway, basically, this is going to be like a Daytona SP3 or a Monza SP2. It's not going to be an everyday car. I think this is going to be a special collector's car. Big
How much?
money. I think it'll be all the money.
What, £1 million?
No, but probably
Half?
350.
Oh no. Really?
Yeah, and essentially a rebodied, redone MC20. I'm pretty sure. So that's
Just be a fast Julia.
no MC20, mate. Maserati.
Yeah.
Next up, Audi A6 e-tron.
Oh, do we got to talk about this?
No.
Good.
So then we can move on to the Fiat Panda EV, which
Oh,
I'm
look at
so
that.
here for. I'm so here for.
Oh, I'm going to get one of them.
So that's actually a concept car. Tony's looking at a picture of a concept car from 2019, but we're assuming that the Panda's going to look
Bloody brilliant.
fairly similar.
Yeah.
And if you think about what was the Renault, remember they did what's coming, the Renault 5 Turbo EV thing. So if you think about what
Is
they
that coming?
did, yeah, that's coming any day now. But if Fiat copied that with the Panda and create like the VW ID Buzz thing,
ID Buzz, yeah.
an electric looking throwback.
There's
therefore.
there's 70 grand them ID Buzz things.
That's a joke, isn't it?
That is a full-on piss take.
But hold on a sec, because you're suddenly getting excited about a new version, EV version of a heritage Panda, but you don't care about Alfa Romeo, some of the greatest automotive and racing history from yesteryear.
I'm not particularly. I just like the look of that little thing. I mean, that's just the funniest little thing I've ever seen. I don't care whether it's EV or not. If that had a petrol engine, I'd be just as excited.
Yeah, fair enough. It does look very cool. It's a concept car. They always look cool. Lamborghini's next V12 hybrid supercar. Yeah, for sure.
We'll wait to laugh one off because it was so bad.
A spicy MC20.
That won car of the year. Not the spicy one, but that thing.
MC20, the standard MC20.
Won car of the year. Evo car of the year. We never really pulled that up, did we?
We did a bit. We did a bit, yeah. We did talk about it on our one of our first shows back this year.
Right.
Yeah, I still struggle with that. And actually, when I found out about that Alfa Romeo project, this 6C/heritage car, initially I was like, and then they said, it's going to be based on an MC20. I was like, don't get it.
I bet you died inside.
It literally killed me. I was like, what a bloody disaster. I don't vibe with that car. I'm excited by so many other Maserati things except the MC20.
Yeah.
I really like the Gracale, whatever it is, the little baby SUV that we spoke about with Paul. I really like the idea of the new Gran Turismo, the electric and the powerful one. But just the MC20 leaves me feeling a bit dead inside.
I just want Alfa Romeo to make a new Giulia Quadrifoglio that will compete with the new M3 and the new Merc.
Yeah.
With a proper interior.
Proper bits.
Yeah, that's all I care about Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, fair enough. Going to skip past that. Number 17.
It's our favourite car.
Number 16 was the Gordon Murray T33 Spider.
Yeah.
Number 17, McLaren Artura Spider. We're expecting that, aren't we? That'll be 4 years down the line.
There's the coupe here, yeah? Where's the coupe? Is that coming?
It's supposed to be here, isn't it? I don't know.
I mean, have they forgot? They haven't even released the coupe yet. There's spiders here.
I've got nothing to say. Number 18, Pagani Utopia.
No, not interested.
No, you know what? I am, actually.
Oh.
I am, because it's Pagani, and whilst they tend to be shed builds, and this car is a bit hit and miss looks-wise, if I saw one on the road, if I was driving, someone came past, or Pagani called up and said, would you like to come and drive one? My heart would beat at 100 miles an hour, and I'd be like, oh my God, yes. It's a Pagani.
But what do you think when someone drives past the road, drives past you in a Huayra?
I'm like, wow.
No, you're not.
Mate, I am.
You
It's
hate
a Huayra.
the Huayra.
But if I see one, I'm still like, wow, it's a Huayra.
No, you're not.
Mate, I 1,000,000% go, wow, Huayra. I don't. If I was literally just driving down the road and a Huayra came around the corner, I'd be like, sick.
I've been with you when a Huayra's come past, and you said to me, "Little dick." It's exactly what you said. Can't get a Ferrari. That's what you said to me.
That would have been a Koenigsegg. You just got confused. But he's lying. He's literally lying. I don't like the Huayra, but I would still love to see one or be around one. And if someone said, "Do you want to drive one?" I would. I still have never driven a Zonda.
It'd be in a
That's
tree.
my dream.
I mean, they don't go in a straight line. Them things.
No, they do go in a straight line.
What, the Huayras?
Yeah.
But I thought they got all that power. They just piss off into a tree.
Why would they piss off into a tree?
Well, I think they're pretty dangerous. They're quite powerful, mate.
Yeah.
I
can handle power.
Oh.
So yeah, Utopia, I'm intrigued. I say I'll be excited to see one in the flesh for the first time. I'd love to experience one in some shape or form. It's a Pagani. I can't knock a Pagani. I always say Pagani.
No, I don't. You?
This is up your street, number 19. The SF90 version Speciale.
Yeah.
So fairly confirmed that this is coming. A Pista, a Speciale version, a Competizione version of the SF90, which suddenly makes all the Assetto Fiorano SF90 owners look a bit silly. But yeah, I mean, this will theoretically be insane. Could it make that car suddenly a bit more engaging and interactive and exciting? Potentially.
You mean, could it make it Ferrari again?
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, if it's still got that front end, there isn't anything Ferrari can do about that. So unless they put the motors in the back and it's 1,200 horsepower at the rear wheels, which I doubt, then it will still be, it will just be a harder, more uncomfortable version of the SF90. Because what could...
But would you say your Pista is a harder, more uncomfortable version of a GTB?
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely harder.
Yeah, I think it's got potential. I would be excited to get behind the wheel of that and go. I think it would make it more exciting on a slow speed occasion. I think it could feel a bit more.
Well, I'll tell you the difference between a GTB and the Pista. What makes the Pista more special is because you can hear all the stones. It's a little bit noisier in the cabin.
Feel like you're in a race car.
Yeah, you feel more connected to the car. So let's hope they have done that to that car, because I'll buy one
if it's a heightened experience, we'll be all over it.
Yeah, because I really like the normal one. It's going to be 600 grand, that car, by the way.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that's too much money. Sod that.
The new Ford Mustang Dark Horse, which we saw in LA, which I really like the look of. I've long been a fan of a Mustang.
Not interested.
You didn't think it looked good when we saw it on the stand?
I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, the bit with the dark windows that we couldn't see inside.
Couldn't see it. It looked
because
cool.
they were embarrassed about the interior being the same as the old one that looks about 20 years old.
Sure.
Yeah, that Mustang that we was
Didn't
in.
we see a new interior? Didn't we go look in the convertible and it had a new interior? Because
Yeah,
you
but
said
it's-
exactly this. You went, I bet it's got the same interior.
Yeah,
And
but
when
it
I looked, I
wasn't
went, oh, no,
that.
it's all new.
But it wasn't that special, mate. That's
No,
why
but it's a Mustang. It's not bloody Lamborghini.
it's
a
100
Mustang.
odd grand.
Who said that?
It will be.
A Mustang?
Well,
Mate, there's no way it's going to be 100 grand.
Excuse me. How
What?
much is that Shelby thing?
You can't get that in the UK. What's the most expensive Mustang in this country? Like 58 grand or something?
Yeah. But is that coming to this country?
I'm sure, yeah.
Right, so how much is the Shelby in America? $80,000.
Hold on a second.
So it's gonna be 100 grand, that car.
You're all over the place. What are you on
Am
about? Hold on a sec. Arrives with 500 horsepower, blah, 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 blah. Just have to do research on the fly.
Oh,
Classic behind the glass podcast.
I put him right in it.
Yeah. So here we go. New Mustang Dark Horse. So this is going to be US pricing, which never quite translates.
Oh, so we don't get them.
New Ford Mustang. Come on. Let's get there. Where is it? Come on, Carwow. Help me out.
Carwow,
Here we go. New Mustang prices. In the US, the 2.3 litre EcoBoost Mustang will set you back just under $29,000, while a V8 GT is just a smidgen under $40,000. Expect the new Mustang to add a few $1,000s to each of those prices. Dark Horse, we don't know. But, mate, it's not going to be 100 grand, that Dark Horse. Sure, no.
But what is it then?
Here we go. 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse expected with a price of $50,000.
But what is it then?
It's a 500 horsepower V8 Mustang. It's not a Shelby, mate.
Well, the Shelby version will be $100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, but then what's that? 70 grand.
No. What in today's money? It's about 100,000 quid.
Yeah, so there's no official pricing confirmed. That's super annoying. But yeah, no, I think you're wrong.
It's a pile of poo, mate.
Here we go. Dark Horse Mustang will start at $58,000.
Right, so about 55,000 quid.
Exactly.
About
so
53,000
half of what
quid.
you expected. Ridiculous for you to
But
go and slag off that car with no knowledge or understanding. Classic Tony.
But that's
jumping in with 2 feet, totally uneducated.
But that's start, and that's not the Larry one.
No.
That's just a normal 2.3.
No, it's not the 2.3.
It's
That's
the
the
V8.
V8.
It's just
that's
a
the
normal
500 horsepower V8.
V8, 500 horsepower pile of poo.
Talking of pile of
Just goes
poos,
in a
next on the list is
straight
the
line.
Tesla Cybertruck. If that ever actually hits the road, it will be a catastrophe.
Looks like it's on the moon there.
Aston Martin Valkyrie.
Does that work now?
Lol.
Really?
Surely that should be Valhalla by now, shouldn't it?
Oh, no. Have they delivered all the Valkyries then?
I don't know, but I thought they delivered some. And then I saw that a whole lot of journalists went and drove the AMR Pro version in Dubai or somewhere this week.
Right.
Chris Harris was there. Johnny Lieberman's out there at the minute. I think Matt Watson went and drove. Anyway, so there's a whole lot of people driving that.
Is that cool?
Well, yes. Come on, the Valkyrie's cool.
Yeah.
The Valkyrie's unbelievably cool.
Way more cool than the Merc.
Oh, a million times
to
cooler.
look at.
And sounds the bit like I love everything about Valkyrie.
They don't work.
But I'm just not sure, will it actually ever be a thing? Joe Macari had one come in.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Of course.
Why are we disheartened by this?
Well, we don't know anyone that's got one.
And it's dragged out a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's old news.
And that's what I mean, like Valhalla. Do you remember the Vanquish concept? Do you remember when they did the 3 cars, Valkyrie, Valhalla, and Vanquish at the Geneva Motor Show?
Yeah.
Must have been about 2015.
Yeah.
Where are all those cars?
Where are they all? Yeah. And Mr. Palmer stood there for 3/4 of an hour talking about how good they were. He's lost his job and they ain't built the cars.
You know what I'm excited to see is the Fernando Alonso edition Valkyrie. Because we know that's coming, don't we?
Yeah.
God. Any other cars that you can think of or know about coming this year?
Coming this year?
I'll tell you one.
Go on.
Roma Spider.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be
That is genuinely coming, that car, yeah.
Yeah, so the
Stupid
Portofino
car.
replno could be a soft top, which would be
It
a
is
disaster.
100% going to be a soft top. Oh, hold on. I've got one.
Go on.
I don't know if it would definitely be this year, but I think it will be. The 812 replacement.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. Now, Ferrari are being very, very tight-lipped about that car, but I'm fairly sure something's going on because they won't let you in the V12 factory bit at the moment.
That happens a lot, though.
Yeah, but they're up to no good, mate.
Yeah, but then also there's so much chat about LaFerrari replacement.
Yeah, that might be another one.
And something with Daytona SP3s, and there's a lot of chat at the moment about. And they often close off to think there's not anything that exciting.
just love that brand.
I know you do. Man.
It's so good the way they behave.
I think I've worked something out that I adore Ferrari. But if I won the Euro Millions, I would buy all the Ferraris from the 60s and some from the 70s, a load from the 90s and the noughties. And I think I would kind of stop around 2010. Whilst with Porsche, I would essentially buy all of them from the 90s forward. So I think I like old Ferraris and new Porsches. I don't know why I've said that, but I'm just telling you that's what I think I figured out.
Fair.
Anyway, those are the cars that Top Gear are most excited about for 2023, but also that we are, and a few of the other ones that we had not thought of. Let us know. Let us know which cars, maybe you're waiting for or excited about. Maybe some cars that you've got on order that we have forgotten, because there are quite a few exciting things coming down the pipeline this year, and there'll be a whole lot of things unveiled that we don't know about just yet. So, put in the comment section.
The new BMW iX1.
New BMW iX1. Yeah, well, the X1 in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, super good looking thing,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, really,
that's coming.
That is coming. We will be back with you for another episode, another live stream next week. Thank you so much to all of you who've been joining us live over on Recast. is it next week? At some point, Paul and I are back with another episode of After the Checkered Flag, talking about all the new F1 team livery reveals. If you want to follow Tony in the meantime, he's at Tony Gravelwood Car Sales on most social media platforms. I'm at Seen Through Glass on most social media platforms. On Sunday, my INEOS Grenadier video goes live on the main channel. And yes, next week, I'll be getting behind the wheel of the Aventador Ultime. That's going to be an experience. So yeah, we'll catch up with you next week to chat about everything going on in the car world. See you then. Bye-bye.
See ya.